So the frame is all nice and clean, and it looks like someone had a go at starting to polish it at some stage or other, but then somebody came along and put what looks like white emulsion house paint on it. I don't ask me. Nothing surprises me with what people do to bikes, but it'll be black anyway, because I can't be arsed with shiny stuff. I like things all black and murdered out, so it'll be dark black, my favourite shade. So as I said, all nice and clean, and I popped out those bearing races, and I have them kept to one side there. Whenever I go to get bearings, when I put a front end on it, just for sizing them up and stuff like that in the local bearing place. And we'll see where we go from there. So it came out quite clean. You see me at the tank there. So I have the sender out. I'll show you that in the next segment. The tap is out too, and it came out cleanish enough. We'll go at it like and get it perfect. You know, I'm not going to be doing anything mad. It's not going to be turbo or big CC or anything like that. So the stock tap will do me. And straightened up this tab on the tank. Like any of that rust you see there, that's just surface rust. That'll come off easy. Like there's no pinholes or anything. So I suppose the beauty of it being a race bike, I would assume that by the condition of the tank for a long time it was kept inside. So that would do it the world of favours. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's reasonably clean. The most of that's not even rust. It's just like dirt. Comes off there when you go at it, but it's like sludge inside in the tank. See, with a vague smell of fuel. So that'll all have to be cleaned out. But probably what I'll end up doing is I'll seal up all the holes and make some sort of a spit, motorised spit for it, and I'll fill it up with, well, half fill it with vinegar and throw a handful of nuts into it and leave it spinning for a few hours, and then come back and empty it out and flush it and do it a couple of more times, and we'll probably get some of that sealer stuff for the inside of it then, I'd say. So yeah, getting there. So curiosity got the better of me, and we done a bit of scrubbing with one of these lads that you put in the drill. Takes off paint and rust fairly fast, and I tackled the worst bits I saw, and in all I saw I've one pinhole there. Rest of it perfect, quite solid. Even up along the seam is good. So what we'll probably do now is we'll get some paint stripper and strip all this crap off it and see what we're dealing with here. And when we have it all stripped back to nothing, we'll put some epoxy sealer on it and then put it away. So that's an easy fix compared to some tanks you'd see now that are rusty and you have to cut the bottom of them out and all that carry on. Happy days. Okay, so one of the first jobs I've done, and you might think this is a bit odd, but I have to work with what I've got. You can see there I pulled everything out of the tank, and believe it or not, the tap works. And the inside of the tank's not too bad. I had a look in there with the boroscope. I'll stick up some pictures at the end of it. So the fuel sender was all seized up and rusty and horrid and stuff like that, so we took it all apart and cleaned it all up inside. It's just a very simple linear potentiometer, really, the way it works. Same as a dial, volume dial on your radio or whatever the case may be. So when the gauge is at the full position, where the float is now, you're just getting 2.5 ohms of resistance. So as the gauge comes down and you have less fuel in the tank, the resistance increases to the point that where it's at empty, you have like 68 ohms of resistance, which is what pulls the needle on the gauge back down again. Now, so I can put the little casing back on this now, but all cleaned up, and we'll bag that up, tag it and put it away. So that's the end of this video, which is, I suppose, officially part 1, we'll call it, of the Slabby. So the next video, I'll probably go at stripping the tank and trying to clean it out. It is okay inside. There's a lot of sludge in there, and I think some water got in there at some point. You know, because there was only tape over the top of it, and it was being kept outside before I got it, so I'd imagine that some water worked its way into the tank and turned whatever fuel was in there into sludge. But we'll go about cleaning it out, and I want to just get all the paint off it and see are there any nasty surprises lurking underneath. But from what I see, it looks okay. Alright, we'll get you in the next one. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, and we'll get you in the next one. Bye bye.